Hi, I'm Mark Webber from the BMW Williams team. I'm going to show you a qualifying lap from Melbourne, actually qualifying 2. It'll be onboard camera, so I hope you enjoy it. Okay, starting the lap in Melbourne, it's always a fantastic feeling for me coming on this front straight here. A lot of fans cheering for me. Down to turn 1, it's quite bumpy on the brakes here, so braking quite hard. A little bit early on the brakes, but it's important to get a good exit on the run down to turn 3. Again now up through the gears, reaching a maximum speed close to 280 k's again. Heavy braking for turn 3, very difficult to stop the car. Hard in the traction control out of there, and then you can see swinging back also for turn 4. Again, a little bit of curb on the exit, very fast through turn 5 here, very challenging corner. This is the first time we've been on a drying track with high fuel, so it's going to be quite a tricky lap. Through this section again, it's a very tricky exit there. Want to get a good drive out of there. Very fast right-hander here. Now again, coming to this section of the track, quite bumpy on the brakes. Again, absolutely crucial to get a perfect exit. You'll see I'll use the curb a little bit there. There's quite good grip on that. And now around here, have a little bit of a relax, making sure you get your shift points absolutely perfect. And you'll see here that I run a little bit wide for the first part of the chicane, but I still managed to get not a bad exit, so I lost maybe a tenth and a half there, which wasn't ideal. Down past the Powerhouse Museum, heavy on the brakes for this next section of corners. Very hard braking, just missed the apex a little bit, but not a bad exit. This is one of my favourite corners, very quick on the way in. You can use a lot of exit curb on the way out. Second last corner, very easy to lock the front tyre. Again, need a good exit out of there into the final corner of the lap. Open up the steering on the exit and hard on the power all the way to the line, and hopefully the lap time was not too bad. But put me P3 in Melbourne. So, I hope you enjoyed the lap. It worked well for me in Melbourne, and I always enjoy driving there, so I hope you enjoyed it.
Hi, I'm Anthony Davidson. I'm BAR Honda's third driver and reserve driver, and this is my second qualifying lap in Malaysia. Before the first corner, adjusting the brake bias there, felt maybe had a bit too much front end, so gone rearward by the looks of things. Heavy braking into turn 1, sliding on the front, bit of understeer going on. Turn 2, got the apex well, the car had a good balance there. Winding around the small kink towards turn 3. Brake at the 100 metre board just after. Down into second gear, click the apex there and get a nice clean exit. Wind round into the high speed. Touch of understeer over the bump, got a bit loose there. Around the right hander, just take the exit curb. Try to get the front in as much as you can into this double apex right hander. Hopefully not get too much understeer, and that was quite good there. The car was working well. We're on full fuel here, by the way, so this is the maximum weight penalty that we'll have all weekend. It's pretty difficult to drive the car in this state. It likes to move around a lot, but so far it's been a tidy lap. And this fast left-right complex coming into a really late apex. Click the apex there and get a good exit, a nice clean exit there. And coming down into the last corner, brake as late as you dare. And bring it home to the pit straight. And look down at the wheel for the lap time and hope it's a good one. And there we go, lap of Malaysia. Okay, so that was the end of my qualifying attempt in Malaysia for the second qualifying. I hope you enjoyed watching and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hello, I'm Pedro de la Rosa. I'm test driver of the Team McLaren Mercedes. Come with me and I'll show you around Bahrain on my qualifying lap. There's a very long straight in front of you. You approach straight in second gear up to 7th. Heavy braking just before 100 meter board. Downshift to first gear. It's a very tight corner where you just have to keep it to maximum to the right to get once you are on full throttle, don't lift over the kink. Back to 6th, top speed. Heavy braking again, 100 meter board into second. It's a 90-degree corner. And just go to 5th again, back to 4th. It's a quick change of direction where this car has quite a lot of understeer coming out. From 5th to 1st, this is a very difficult corner because you just cannot miss the apex. From 1st you go back to 5th, down to second. Very difficult corner where it's very easy to lock the inside wheel, and it's very important to clip the second apex. Small straight up to sixth, light braking into third. Very important to keep the car rolling with a lot of speed going in. And once you're in the power now, this is a fifth gear corner, which was flat in qualifying. Down to third, 90-degree corner, where the most important thing really is to clip the curb, and once you're in the throttle, just have a very quick exit. Long straight to sixth speed again. Heavy braking into last corner, which is very easy. The car has always a lot of understeer. Second gear corner. Full throttle, start finish line, and that's your lap time. It's a nice circuit with a lot of heavy braking, very easy to lock the front wheels in this track and miss the apexes. And offline the track is very dusty, and it's very easy to lose a lot of time.
Hello, I am Giancarlo Fisichella. I drive for Renault F1 team, and we are going now to see my lap in Imola. Enjoy with me. This is the last corner before the start of the finish line. So now is just started the lap. We are going in through turn 1, which is hard braking, second gear, then third gear on the right hand side. Now we are in third gear. We are going to the Tosa corner, which is in second gear. Into the Piratella, which is one of the most difficult corners, is high-speed corners, and is in fourth gear. Just after the Piratella, we're going into the Acque Minerali 1, and now Acque Minerali 2, which is in second gear. Now we are going into the Variante Alta, which is a difficult corner in third gear. We have to jump on the curbs very hard. It's quite difficult because the car is really nervous over there. Rivazza 1 in second gear, Rivazza 2 second gear too. Right now we are going into the last corner, which is the last chicane in very slow speed. Second gear, we jumped on the curves, and we are on the start-finish line. That was my lap. I hope you enjoyed.
Okay, we're starting the lap. Barcelona circuit, start finish line, top gear into turn 1, brake around 70 meters, down to second gear, third gear in between, fourth gear, fifth gear. This is one of the longest corners in Formula 1. It actually was quite painful for me when I was there with actually my shoulder was still broken. Next corner is down to third or second gear. Some people use third, some people use second. I got a bit more tendency actually to use second there. This is second gear, one of the probably second slowest corner in the circuit. You accelerate quite quick down the hill, down to third gear, left-hander up the hill. Use the curve in the exit as much as you want. This is going to be fifth gear, small lift, get back in the throttle. You can see I had a lot of understeer through there. This is the slowest corner. First gear, left-hander up the hill again. Second, third gear, and down to second through here. Then these two corners are quite fast. First one is in fifth gear, second one as well, but you carry a lot more speed through there. I had a bit of a moment in that lap actually. And that's your lap around Barcelona circuit.
Hi, I am Jarno Trulli. I'm a Formula 1 driver for Panasonic Toyota Racing Team, and enjoy the onboard camera lap with me on the Monaco Grand Prix. This is the main straight, so we put all the gear up until 7th gear, and we brake very hard at 50 meters down to the first corners on the wall in first gear. We go up the hill towards Casino, second, third, fourth and fifth. Then we shift down 2 gears for the Casino corner, left hand side, long. Second for the second one, right hand side, down to Mirabeau. third, fourth, and then braking down in first gear, acceleration, and then braking for the very low speed hairpin in first gear. This sector is all in first gear, accelerating out of the corners, the second of portiere, and then down to the tunnel. This is the quickest corner we have in Monaco. It's about 300 kilometers per hour. We get out of the tunnel and we brake down for the quick chicane here. It's a slow speed chicane in first gear, second, third, and then we go towards the swimming pool, left hand side in third gear. Swimming pool is in fourth, about 200 kilometers per hour. We brake down first gear for the chicane, and then out towards the other right hand corner, first gear, and then we are back on the main straight. So I hope you enjoyed my lap with the onboard camera at the Monaco Grand Prix.
Hi, I'm Nick Heidfeld. This is my qualifying from Nürburgring, where I did my first pole position ever. Tried to get some good speed already over the start and finish line, up to 6th gear, reaching more than 300 kph. Bit bumpy here on the braking, got the apex quite good there, very wide corner. Next left-hander is quite difficult because it's very blind. You have to brake and turning at the same time, exit as well. Then it's going into the new part of the Nürburgring. Here I have to make a good apex, take a lot of curbs there, and then it's back onto the old part. This is one of my favorite corners there on the circuit. It's cambered a lot to the inside, so you can keep more speed in than you usually can. Can take a lot of curbs there on the exit. Not too much because at one point you would start bottoming out. Going to that 180, you can lock the inside tire sometimes without a big problem. That didn't work without that. Then this uphill chicane, very quick. Not quite flat, but very, very close. So the next corner is very bumpy. You just saw it there under braking. Nice fluent left and right hander in third gear. Again, important to have a good apex here because of the very long back straight. This right hander is easy flat even in damp conditions, and then very important to get the right braking point here. And then back into the last corner. Tried to make it quite a close apex. Actually missed it a little bit there, but didn't cost me a lot. And then back to the finish line. That was my lap. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Hi, I'm Jensen Button, and this is my pole position lap of Montreal. You're up to 7th gear down the main straight. Into turn 1, you're braking very hard. It's a 3rd gear corner. Run over the curb as much as possible. Keep the car smooth for turn 2. Down into 2nd. A little bit of understeer there. On the exit, you've got to be very smooth because the circuit's running away from you quite a bit there. Into turn 3, it's a 3rd gear corner. Use as much curb as possible, but still trying to be very, very smooth. Through this flat out right hander. Then you're braking into this left hander, which is another chicane. Very important to get a good exit here. Up to 7th gear before braking into the next chicane. Under the bridge. Rears are locking pretty much every lap. Cross the curb as much as possible. It's very, very important here to use as much circuit as you can. We're back up the gears again, into the hairpin, which is a 2nd gear corner. Get a little bit of oversteer on the turn-in, but then the car goes in pretty well after that. Good exit because you've got a long straight here, heading down to the last corner on the circuit. We're up through the gears, you're up to about 360 kilometers an hour, so you're going reasonably quick. And then you're braking at the 100 meter board, down into 2nd gear, trying to be as smooth as possible through these last 2 corners, not trying to gain too much, but not trying to lose either. And that's pole position in Montreal. I hope you enjoyed my quali lap of Montreal. I did, and hopefully we'll have some more pole positions this year.
Hi, my name's Scott Speed. I'm the Friday test driver for Red Bull Racing, and you're watching my onboard footage. Down the straightaway here, up to 7th gear, running around 325 clicks. Turn 1's quite hard braking, about the 100 meter board, down to 2nd gear through turn 1. This is a quite fun section here. There's a lot of grip in turn 2 available. You're up into 4th gear, and then down into 2nd again for turn 4. Turn 5's a flat out corner. You pull quite a bit of G's here. And then you're back down into second gear for turn 6. This is quite a long corner, a bit tricky to get the exit right to stay far enough left to get onto the backstretch rail. Down this backstretch, you're up into 6th gear and then down into 2nd gear for the left-hander. Quite a fun corner this one is. And then down into 1st gear for these two quite slow chicanes, or hairpins rather. Up into 3rd gear and then back down into 2nd to lead onto the straightaway. And up the box into 7th flat out through the next two right-handers. On the banking here, it's quite interesting because the grooves on the track, it's quite rough and quite a bit bumpy. I hope you enjoyed my second lap here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. See you later.
Hello, I'm Olivier Panis, test driver for Panasonic Toyota Racing. I just did the lap yesterday on Friday. I just want to say welcome to everybody for the French Grand Prix. Enjoy yourself all weekend. Just front of the straight line of the pits, we're going to 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th gear. The left corner is completely flat out on the good condition, braking very late. Corner on 4th gear, Estoril corner, very complicated to be on the line. 4, 5th, 6th for very long straight line before a very low hairpin and Adelaide hairpin. Braking late, arrive about 370k, braking 80 meters. You need to take the airpex very well to reaccelerate early. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th gear, more or less close to the limiter. Braking a bit, 4th gear, stay full on throttle before the 180 degrees corner. We manage on the 2nd gear, 3rd gear, 4th, 5th, 6th before the chicane, Imola chicane. Very difficult to see the apex, but very quick on 4th gear. Accelerate quite flat out. 4th, 5th, braking late for the hairpin before the long straight line going down. 1st gear, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, 4th, 5th, close to the limiter. Braking very late on the downhill. 4th, 3rd, 2nd. You accelerate for the last chicane when you go over the curve. Very hard chicane, and you accelerate for the finish line. I hope you enjoyed the lap. It was a good one.
I'm David Coulthard from the Red Bull Racing Formula 1 team, and you're going to join me on a lap of Silverstone in-car. Approaching Stowe corner, which is taken in 5th gear, very fast turn. So you pull the car back across for Beckett's, first part taken absolutely flat, down to 5th gear, down to 4th gear for the middle part of Beckett's, and hold that gear on the run out onto the curb that takes you towards Hanger Straight. But obviously you go 5th gear, 6th gear, up into 7th, and the approach down into Copse corner, very fast entry, braking and turning in down to 4th. In the apex, a little bit of oversteer on exit as you run out down through Vale to braking for Club Corner. It's one of the slowest corners on the track. 2nd gear through the first part, and then flat through 3rd, 4th, 5th on the run out towards the curb. Then you have the short acceleration down to Abbey Chicane, which again, big stop down into 3rd gear. Use a lot of the curb on the inside, curb on the exit phase. You then run through up into 6th gear, flat out all the way through Bridge Corner. Takes you down into the entry to the complex, fast corner again, and then down into 2nd gear for the middle part of the complex before running out into the last turn. Long right-hander, tends to build a lot of understeer through the apex before running out onto the exit curb through 3rd, 4th, 5th, across the start-finish line and the end of the qualifying lap. Well, that was my lap of Silverstone. No big mistakes and a reasonable qualifying position.
Hi, this is Ralf Schumacher and this is my lap in Hockenheim. Turn 1, exit is quite important. You need to be careful not to go over the curbs too much, otherwise you could lose your rear end. Into turn 2, it's quite easy to lock front wheels and as you see, very slippery. You need a good exit for the very long straight after. So straight line speed there is obviously very important. Try to keep to the inside because it's quite bumpy. braking into the hairpin, turn 3, it's essential again because it's very easy to just miss the braking points, lose a lot of time there. Exit for the following straight. A little right-hander coming, but it's easy flat, no problem. Quite twisty, tight left-hander, quite slippery, very bad traction. And back into the motordrome. There is a quite quick corner now, it's a 4th gear corner, high speed. Braking to 180 degrees one, which you need to stay inside because it's quite understeery and nervous on the exit on power. The last two are very tight actually, you see me going wide, a lot of understeer and nervous again on power on the exit, which are quite important to get the speed out to the main straight and to have a good time. I hope you enjoyed the lap, thank you.
Hi everybody, it's Michael Schumacher speaking here, and you're going to have the opportunity to see the lap of Hungary qualifying. We're going to start qualifying lap of Budapest, my only and first pole position. Now I turn to the actual first corner, which was pretty smooth and easy, although at the braking there was a little rear locking, but no problem. Now we look at turn 2, which again happened to be very good. Turn 3 flat out, no problem. Can't see the apex into turn 4, turn into the unknown without any sort of oversteer this time. Car didn't really turn in properly in turn 5. Coming to turn 6, difficult braking, right in the curb pretty hard, trying to exit the corner with some bumps. Now turn 8 and 9 is a sort of tricky one again. Corner combination where I made actually most of my time. Turn 10 flat out. Down into turn 11, very tricky corner. Be careful not to get too wide over the artificial grass. Braking for turn 12, which was pretty smooth. And coming now to the last 2 corners, which again you can gain or lose a lot of time. Over the bumps into the last corner, try to stay at the apex for a long time and then have a good exit to take the maximum speed over start and finish line. And you saw the qualifying lap of myself in Hungary.
Hello, I'm Fernando Alonso. I hope you enjoy this lap onboard camera in Turkey Grand Prix. Okay, this is coming to the main straight. A little bit bumpy, but a beautiful grandstand. One of the most difficult corners of the championship, left corner in 3rd gear. You cannot see the entry, so it's a little bit difficult. Then there's this very long right corner, flat out, up to 6th gear. To arrive at the top, there is a triple corner, left, right and left again, all in 2nd gear. A little bit difficult, very complex this part, and difficult to set up the car, but again really challenging for the driver. This main straight up to the 6th gear again, back to 2nd gear for this right corner, a little bit uphill, so very important the traction of the car here. 10-8, the most famous corner I think of this championship. 3 apex of the corner in 5th gear, around 280 kilometers an hour, very high speed corner. A little bit downhill up to 6th gear again, back to 2nd. This corner is very, very important for the lap time because after 10-11 there is a very, very long straight up to 6th gear and around 330 kilometers an hour at the end of the straight. Downshift to 1st gear for the last 3 corners. It's a left corner and then right and then left again. All 3 very important for the time lap because you spend like 10 seconds of the lap in these 3 corners, so a couple of turns can make a big difference. Okay, this was my lap. I hope you enjoyed. Can be a little bit quicker, but it was enough to be in the 3rd position.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, I'm with Antonio Liuzzi. I drive for the Red Bull Racing team in Formula 1 and I hope you enjoyed my Monza lap time. Was on the edge, was a decent lap and live on the edge as we do. Okay, now getting ready for the lap. We're getting on the straight, on the pit straight, one of the longest straight of the circuit here, Monza, with low downforce of the car because of the long straight. The car is always on the edge, it's really slippery. Here, breaking point around 100 meter, we can see turning over the curbs, all over the curbs in the first and second chicane. Always they carry it on the edge with the rear because it's really low grip there, because you have low aerodynamic, as I said. But it's really important to have a better exit for the long straight that brings toward the second chicane. Really important braking late here, just after the bridge, and going completely over the first corner. Try to touch a little bit the second one, because make the car really unstable, and try to have a clear acceleration on the third one before Lesmo. Lesmo 1 is a pretty quick corner, but really low grip in the rear. But Lesmo 2 is really difficult, because you have a long straight at the exit, and it's really important to use everything of the curbs and try to have an early acceleration for the really long straight that brings to Ascari. Ascari, one of the high-speed corner all over the first corner. Try to use the second, the right and left, the changing direction pretty clean. Don't touch too much the steering wheel, because it's really important to have a clean acceleration for the long straight that brings before to the last corner, Parabolica. Really high-speed corner, 5th gear, and a really big acceleration on the edge. We see also the steering wheel a lot of work, because the rear is pretty light. And getting ready for the last straight, really important acceleration, because you need a really high speed at the end of the straight, so the exit of the corner is really the key. This was my Monza lap time in the Grand Prix of Italy. I hope you enjoyed and like living on the edge.
Hi, this is Jacques Villeneuve, and we're about to watch my qualifying lap in Belgium. The start of the lap, heavy braking into a hairpin. It's a little bit bank, a difficult corner. Always lock the inside front wheel there, because it gets up in the air. To Eau Rouge, which is a blind corner that's over 300 kilometers an hour. When you're just at the bottom, the car starts bottoming down. You get a lot of down G-force. The car slides a little bit. You get sideways. It bounces around. Very difficult. And also, if you crash, you normally have a big one. Then a long straight line, 335 k's, heavy braking into a high-speed chicane. Just a little bit of a lift and a strong acceleration for the last part of it. And a heavy braking downhill into a second gear tight corner. It's all downhill, so the grip is very low. Go up a gear to third gear, a small lift into this left-hander, which the rear always gets light because it's still downhill. Go up to sixth gear and a quick tap on the brake down to fifth gear for Pouhon, which is at about 200 kilometers an hour. Difficult corner to get right. Then we get into another high-speed chicane section in third gear, where you carry the brake into the corner, small direction change, short acceleration, and you hit the brake just as the track starts going down into a corner that's downhill as well, where the car gets light. And then this fourth gear right-hander, which is flat, you don't lift. Even on old tires it was flat, so difficult to do. Long straight line, we'll get into Blanchimont, which is a flat-out 320k corner. Difficult braking, because we go down to first gear into a tight chicane, and the braking was during a corner, so very difficult. With the acceleration into the start-finish. That was the lap, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Hello, I'm Felipe Massa. I'm driving for Sauber Petronas, and you will see my qualifying lap from Brazil. So here we are in the main straight in 7th gear, starting the lap, 320, then brake to second gear, going to the first corner, second gear, third gear to the second corner, try to go over the curb to make a better line, and then go 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7th gear to the back straight, and then you brake, go to third gear, turn 4 and third gear, then you go to 5, 6 gear and over the hill. Then you have a very quick corner on 5th gear, very heavy brake on 2nd gear, and then you make right and left on 2nd gear. Have a little bit of oversteer. This is the most slower corner in the track, 1st gear. Then we go out of the corner, going down, very quick corner to the left, going down, full throttle. Then have another heavy brake, 2nd gear, and then we go to the last corner, going up to the hill. It's important to make a good line. Full throttle, the whole hill. 7th gear, 320. Yeah, that's finished my lap in Brazil. So this was my lap. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Thank you.
Hi, I am Takuma Sato, racing for Lucky Strike BR Honda. This is a lap of Suzuka circuit. Suzuka is a very challenging circuit for the drivers. You need a lot of commitment. Turn 1, this one is approaching 320 kilometers per hour. And we are now towards the S's. You need a lot of rhythm trying to balance the car. This is approximately 150 to 200 kilometer corner all the time. And we choose 3rd gear, 4th gear, and it's very difficult to balance nice. And we are now coming up to the Dunlop curve. It's a little bit on side top of the hill, and we feel the car going to the right. Approaching to Degner 1 and Degner 2, this is extremely important to get the traction on exit towards to the hairpin. The hairpin is approximately 60 kilometers per hour, but today I'm taking a little bit wet line, which is a little bit off from the dry. And this is another sort of straight on the dry, but this is a real corner for the wet. The TC is working top of the hill to just catch the snaps. Going to the spoon curve, turn 1 and spoon turn 2. And this one again, I try to keep the little bit light wine for the wet. Down the straight again, the car is going to 320 kilometers per hour towards the 100 Saliar. This is the fastest corner in Suzuka. Very fast, even wet. You approach to 260 kilometers. Now the chicane is completely outside under braking, and it's difficult to get traction on the wet, but I'm trying to keep it on the full throttle. So that was a lap of Suzuka in the wet. That was a very wet lap, but hope you enjoyed it.
Hi, I'm Rubens Barrichello. We are here in Shanghai. I'm going to take you for a good lap through the circuit. Okay, here I'm starting the lap. It's not the longest straight, but we get 7th gear before the first corner. You have to take a lot of speed into the corner, as you can see. You go down 2 or 3 gears where you're still carrying a lot of speed, and then the apex become quite long, down to 2nd gear. Accelerate a little bit, then you slow down for this left-hander where you carry a little bit of speed. Through the gears up to 6th gear before I'm changing a little bit of the knobs, braking 70 meters before it'll lock up into this corner, because it's quite easy to lock up 2nd gear. Then we have 2 quite quick corners into left and right. Left done in 6th gear, the right done in 5th gear. You have to keep the apex quite tight because the exit is quite important here. You have to run quite wide. Through the gears once more, and you brake around 75 meters again. Carrying a little bit speed, but not too important. This corner is probably the best into the circuit because it have different ways of doing it, and you have to just basically be on the throttle, whatever the car is doing. So you have to carry a lot of speed. There is a lot of momentum going, some understeer, some oversteer, but quite an enjoyable corner. The longest straight off of the circuit, braking at the 100 meter. It's quite a difficult corner. We missed a little bit of the apex. There was the wind behind. Then you just accelerate back again and take a lot of speed into this last bend in 3rd gear for you to finish a very good lap. Well, that is my lap. I hope you enjoy it. It was quite a quick lap with all the lockups, so I hope you enjoy it.